described how he viewed practice, but how did you experience how the team responded coming off of Sunday?
Coming off of what?
Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah. I thought we had a good practice. It was intense. And it was good, to be able to go against each other for a couple periods. A good physical practice. It's something that we needed, and I thought we came out strong.
What can you capture? I know that going physical now versus when in the offseason maybe a little bit different speed, but what can you get out of doing that in season as opposed to, say, in August and July?
Yeah, I think it's always good to kind of, just fly around full speed. As you're, sometimes on Wednesdays when you're putting together a game plan, you try to get everything perfect, and you try to get the scout looks, as good as they can be. Whereas sometimes when it's one-on-ones and or ones versus ones, I guess I should say, you kind of get that full speed, those full speed reps. And I guess that's good, on a Wednesday, especially, coming off of, a tough loss like we had on Sunday.
I know there are limits to how many of those you guys can do a season. How frequently or infrequently did you guys do of those in New York?
I don't know exactly how many. We did them a couple times, but I couldn't give you an exact number. But
is it good, as you said? Does it get everyone's attention when you see the itinerary for the day, and or you get word that it's going to be a little more physical?
Yeah. I think word goes around pretty fast around the locker room that way. So we all knew what to expect, and we had a good day out there.
The Vikings come in, they're second in the league in sacks, and obviously been hit pretty good the last few weeks. Talk about what are the concerns there, keeping you upright in the backfield and making plays?
Yeah, I think it just comes down to execution. I think that's the biggest thing is, all 11 guys doing their job, and everything else will kind of fall into place.
Was there any more conversation with Robbie about kind of his outburst, the way that was handled on Sunday?
Yeah, we handled that. That's been handled.
When you look at that, what do you think is happening? Everybody talks about the chemistry you guys had in New York, and it doesn't seem to have transferred here to Carolina. What's not working?
Yeah, me and Robbie are both, we understand, sometimes what happens or, why certain balls don't go to him. So, I think it's just us two being patient, and we understand that, things will kind of fall into place as the season goes on.
Sam, was that kind of chemistry angle a little overdone, overplayed when you got here?
It's like every story, right? Kind of gets overplayed. So, no, I think it's good. That was the fact of the matter was me and Robbie were, he was one of the only guys, that I knew or that I had played with at the skill position on this team. So, I don't think it was overplayed at all. But, obviously we have a really good skill group. And, for me, I'm just going to continue to go out there, do my job, go through my reads, and, whoever gets the ball gets the ball.
Facing as much pressure as you did Sunday, how does a quarterback still overcome that and not fall into bad habits and be able to still push the ball down the field?
Yeah, I think for me, I got to stay aggressive, but at the same time, understand that if it's not there, get the ball down to the back or tight ends, whoever's down there. So you want to still have that, I guess, like sniper mentality to be able to take a shot if it's there. But again, if it's not, just live to see another down and stay patient that way.
Have the changes with Christian being out, Dan being traded, in those kind of safety valve positions, has that affected maybe a little bit of that, not having those guys there?
No, we got a bunch of guys who have been able to step in, and they've done a great job. Chuba, Ian, Tommy, Royce, those guys have done a great job of being able to, go in those roles and do a great job.
I know Christian hasn't been there, but what do you think has been the biggest difference between those first 3 wins and the last 2 losses?
Yeah, I think it's just execution. I think it's as simple as that. I know it's cliche, but it's just finding that rhythm and, you know, getting those first downs and having good plays on first and second down. So you're in third and short, and then, you know, you kind of stay on track that way. I think we've found ourselves in too many third and longs. You know, obviously around the league, you know, the percentages on third and long aren't great compared to third and short and third and medium. So got to stay out of that down and distance, and that starts with, you know, having a good plan for plan of attack on first and second down.
So that being said, like, why might a team not execute as well as they were in the first 3 games versus last year?
Yeah, I think it just comes down to execution. You know,
Well, why might that be the case? Why might you all not be executing to the level that you execute?
yeah, I mean, there's a ton of different factors that go into it. You know, all 11 guys got to be, you know, doing their job every single play. And, you know, one guy messes up, you know, I you know, make a wrong read, you know, on first, second, or third down. You know, it can kind of screw up the drive a little bit. So, I mean, that's the beauty of football. You know, it's all 11 guys got to be on the same page every single play, and if you're not, you know, you can struggle.
Sam, you mentioned Chuba a second ago. What is he better at now than 2-3 weeks ago?
Yeah, I think, you know, Chuba, just like any rookie with experience, you continue to get better every single game. And Chuba's been, you know, continuing to get better, and we just look forward to him, you know, continuing in that process.
And when you look at the Vikings defense, you're just talking about that front seven, but in particular, Hunter and Everson on the ends, what do you see out of those guys and that front seven in general?
Yeah, I mean, you know, they got 2 great, not only defensive ends, but the other 2 tackles. They do a great job of pushing the pocket, making the quarterback uncomfortable. And then they obviously have a great blitz package that we got to be prepared for. And then, yeah, I mean, they got really good players on defense, and we're excited for the challenge.
How much? Go ahead, Joe.
What did it mean to get both Irving and Elflein back? You guys kind of had to rejig your whole line last week. What does that mean for you and for the offense?
Yeah, you know, I think, first of all, I think Dennis and Brady did a really good job coming in there and, you know, doing what they could to put their stamp on games. And then, yeah, having Pat and Cam back, you know, it's awesome. You know, to be able to have those guys back, it's been great.
You shouldered a lot of the blame when it comes to the pressure, whether it was holding on to the ball, et cetera. How much of that work needs to be, I guess, corrected, whether it's pre-snap, whether it's holding on to the ball? How much of it's pre-snap? How much of it is kind of in the moment in terms of checking out things?
Yeah, I mean, it's a combination of both. You know, I think, yeah, it's definitely a combination. You know, being able to, you know, understand what the coverage is pre-snap, understand what kind of pressures they're bringing, and just getting the ball out of my hands, going through my reads as I should.
Sam, you played 3 games with Christian, 2 games without him. Like, what do you, when you look at the tape, what do you notice that you miss the most about when he's not in the lineup? I know Chuba played well, but just in talking about Christian.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like every week I, you know, kind of say it, but he's a great player. You know, it's there's just something about him that, you know, when he has the ball in his hands, he's able to do things that a lot of people aren't able to do.
Matt said that you guys are seeing a lot of bear with cover 1 behind it. Is that look in particular a little tougher to go against without Christian?
I mean, you know, Christian, if they want to play man, whether they put, you know, a safety on him or a linebacker on him, it's tough to get the right person guarding Christian. So, you know, usually it's a mismatch. So yeah, you know, with that, in that regard, yeah, it's, you know, it's whenever you have 22 out there, it makes life a little bit easier. Obviously, you know, Chuba and Royce do a great job, but, you know, we all know, you know, Christian's a great player. But obviously we got other guys too that are able to make plays when, you know, they want to bring 5 and play man coverage on the back end. So we just got to go out there and make plays.
We got time for a couple more.
Sam, Coach mentioned that today's practice, get back to that, there was a lot of focus on the defense and the offense had an edge. You actually said that a couple of times. What does edge mean, if you can explain that to us? Is it guys genuinely ticked off that you've lost a couple of games? Is it just sharper focus in practice? What exactly does that mean?
Yeah, I think it's all those things that you just said. You know, being a little ticked off. I mean, coming off, I mean, you want to be able to put the pass behind, but, you know, as a competitor, you understand coming into a Wednesday practice, you know, we lost last Sunday, and that should tick all of us off a little bit. And so with that being said, it's we got a lot of great competitors in that locker room, and they came out to practice ready to go today. And so we're just going to continue to have that mindset throughout the week, and we'll be ready to go on Sunday.
Does that essentially put a chip on your shoulders going into this whole week of practice and then leading into the Sunday?
We prepare every single week with not necessarily a chip on our shoulder, but with a sense of urgency to get better and to execute at a high level when it comes to Sunday. So that's kind of our mindset.